Okay, before we start the video, I have another couple of stickers. I have one here from Jamie over at Tailgate Timber, and I have another one here from Germany. And I apologise to anybody German watching this, but I'm probably about to murder this pronunciation. Right, this one is from Eric at Holzbabel, I think. I will put a link up, of course, in the description to either their YouTube channels or their Instagram pages. Now, let's get on with this video. Okay, right, in this video I'm doing one of my bespoke ones, plus a bit extra. When I'm doing this bespoke wand, I do it in two parts. I'll do a blade and I'll do a handle. And I'm quite fond of Alan Stratton's design for a hidden phoenix feather in the handle. I will of course put a link to Alan's channel in the description. Right, and the extra is kind of a surprise at the end. Right, you can cheat and go to the end if you want, but as I said, it's a little bit of something different. Now, I've seen the technique somewhere. I just can't remember where I seen it. If I remember, I will put a link below. But the idea for doing this is not mine. Right? As I said, what I'm doing is I'm combining two techniques into one wand. Right, so I have a piece of oak in here. So first thing I'm going to do is round it off. Mask. Right, so I've got my mask on, so it might sound a bit funny. Right, normally if I'm doing one of my normal ones, I put the square stock into a chuck. But because I'm going to be messing with this one a while, I'm going to do it properly. Right, and actually put the shoulder and all in. Right, so that's it, prepared for the chuck. Now we'll stick it in the chuck. Right, this is just a blade. There's no handle in this part, so we just start reducing it down. Start reducing the blade down at the top. Right, that's the roughing done. So I'll go to my Continental gouge, which is my preferred weapon for doing wands. part of the blade done. Start putting design into it. I like my bound ones for this. Doing my bound one design for this. It's a bit thick. A little bump just there, I want to get rid of. There we go, smooth the curve out. Right, now here, I want it to turn out a little bit because it's going to join to the handle here somewhere. Right, so that's that out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is burn it. Right, now, because I'm going to burn it, right, I'm going to vacuum away anything that's dusty that's up on this lathe. Because trust me, after 24 years in the fire brigade, I've seen too many fires start too easily. Now, the reason I want to burn it is this is kind of an open grained wood. I want it rough and pitted. What this will do is it will kind of burn out the softer grain, and the harder grain will stay prominent. You really want to be careful, try not to set it on fire. Right, keep the flame moving. If it does happen to go on fire, just blow it out. That should do it. Now, then, where's that stiff brush gone? There it is. Right, now what I want to do is I want to give it a quick brush to get the soot off with a stiff brush. Do not be gentle doing this, but don't, of course, put enough pressure on to break it. Don't be too gentle. You really got to get that stuff out of there. Now, this is where I'm going to get weird. I don't like the look of burnt wood. I don't like the look of it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to sand this to try and get that burn off of it. But the grain should still be burnt. I'm going to get most of the burn off if I can. Now I'm leaving the blade quite high instead, so that I'm basically skipping over the surface. I'm not going down into the wood. Look at that. Right, okay. Now you can see where the burns still is. That's the grain. Right. Most of the burn is gone, which is what I wanted. Right. So you can just layer. Right. But the open grain is still. If I run my nail across that, my nail is going down into the bits of grain, which is what I want. And that's all the sanding that's going to get. Right, now I have to put the tenon in. And what I'll do is I'll grab the bit I'm going to use for it and a set of calipers. And I'll set the tenon. There's the tenon set. What was that? Hit the floor there? The drill bit. There it is. Right. Now with a parting tool, I will cut that tenon in. Then I'll finish the tip. Use a skew for this. It's basically broken off. Tire sock out of the way. Clear all that. Right, that's off, and now I'll sand the tip. Now, all I'm going to do is sand the tip with 120, right, to get the shape, right? But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards to 80 because I want lines in that tip, right? So I've got little lines in it, and I want those. Now I'm just going to part it off. Right, and there's the blade of the wand. Right. Now we'll go on to the. Now, see this piece here? You want this piece, so kind of don't throw it away. Right. In the chuck, I have a piece of beech. It's about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, and I'm just going to drill it. What I'm using is a drill bit that fits the biggest set of pen bushings I have. Right, this just makes it easier. Right, so I'm just going to drill through this now. Right, now I only need to go down to about there, right, which is about there on the drill bit. And what I'll do is I'll take it over to the bandsaw and just cut it off so that I can get access to both ends of that hole. Okay, now that that's set up on the pen mandrel, I'm going to round it off and turn the handle. With any shape you want, it's a wand. You can do anything you want with them. Right, move a little closer. Remember to leave a flat spot there on one end. because you want the blade to match into this. Now you'll sort that out later on, the joining, because you glue the blade in and then you can sort it out then. Okay. And just start forming your handle whatever way you want it. Stick with the bone wand look. I'm going to try and bring that down to pretty close to the hole on this end, because this is the end that the feather's going in. That one's a bit big. Take it down a bit. Yeah, that looks roughly what I'm looking for. Right. Now I'll just sand it down. Yeah, when I'm doing the bespoke ones, I try and make them out of Irish woods rather than the fancy ones. So instead it's oak on the handle, or it's oak on the blade and beech on the handle here. Okay. Now you just got to glue the two parts together. Right. What I've done is I've put a couple of more bushings on this so that that comes way out, so that when I put that on, the end of this is off the mandrel. Right. I'm going to use some medium CA gel. Right. Cover this 10 minutes. Put it in. Slip it on over that. On this end I have the mandrel sabre. Give it a squeeze. Can you see the mandrel sabre? Oh, yes, you can. Right, give it a squeeze, and I'm going to leave it there until it sets. Right, and then I'll sort out this join here. After that sets, I'll sort out that join. I'll blend the two of them in. Right, I forgot to turn the camera back on when I was doing it, but basically all I did, right, so after the glue set, I did a cut there to join the two of them together, put in a little accent line between the two of them, and gave the whole thing a coat of wax. So I'm just buffing off now. Right, now we get on to the other bit. Right. So there's the basics of the wand anyway. When I was sanding, I feathered up there a little bit so that there isn't a perfectly straight line between the burnt stuff and the handle. So it kind of runs down in between all them. Just for aesthetics really. Right, now we get on with the next bit, which is inserting the feather. As I said, this is Alan Stratton's design. I don't believe in using somebody else's idea. and not giving them a mention. Right, a piece you had earlier on that I told you were going to need later. Now is when you need it. You're going to turn this into the part that holds the feather, and that goes in there. Right. So make sure it's round first. Yep. It's round. Now what you want to do is turn a tenon here that fits in there, and it has to be quite a tight fit. So use a parting tool. Now it's a case of stop and check. I'm going to start touching this with a skew now so that it's straight. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. Now what I want to do is I want to mark the end of that, how wide the base of the wand is. Right, so I have a circle there, and I know I'm just inside that circle. It's where I need to be. So, excuse me, I'm going to turn this light on so we can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn down till I get inside that circle. Right, stop and have a quick check. Perfect. Perfect. Now I can shape the bottom of this. Right, once I get the idea of the shape I want, right, what I can do then is to actually drill a tiny hole right in the middle of that to hold the feather. Right. I'm talking very small. The drill bit from earlier on is still in that. I think that might be a little big for what I want. So we get rid of that one. Right. Right. have a tiny little drill bit. I'm just going to drill a tiny little hole. And that will hold the feather. And before you ask, I have no idea what size that drill bit is. It's the smallest one I've got. I have no idea. Now we'll finish this off. Now before I go too far, right, I want to sand and finish that. Then you get a tiny drop of CA, put it into that hole you drilled, get your feather, slot it into the hole and let it stick. So give that a second to stick. Right. And then your feather goes up inside your handle, and you have a bespoke wand built around a phoenix feather. Right. Now, what about this magic? Right, now here's a close-up look at the wand. Right, there's the burnt part, and there at the end is the hidden phoenix feather, which goes into the hole at the base and it gets hidden, and the wand is built around it. Now, I did promise an extra little bit of magic, didn't I? Here we go. The wand blade glows in the dark. Right? And now I'll show you how to do it. So, hang on a minute. Okay, the glow in the dark stuff. It's this. It's called glow in the dark powder, and I got this off eBay. I think it was about £3. There's a load of places you can get it. Just kind of shop around a wee bit for it, and you'll find it. Now, what you need to do is get some sort of wax, some sort of paste wax, right? Dump a load of it out. Right. You're gonna need, as I said, a load of paste, some sort of paste wax, and you're gonna need something to mix it with. Yeah, that might be a bit much. Right. You really want to saturate the paste wax with this stuff. Right. It's quite messy when you're doing it. So you get your glow in the dark powder. I should have opened this before I got wax all over my hands. Made it a bit easier. Right. Basically dump it onto your paste wax. As I said, you really want to saturate it. Right. Dump it onto your paste wax and mix it through. And this takes a few minutes to actually do. Right. You want the wax completely saturated in this stuff. Right. What you'll end up with is basically a glow in the dark embellishing wax. Yeah, that stuff is messy when you're mixing it. absolutely saturate the stuff in it. Try and not leave lumps of powder that are not mixed in. When you're happy enough that it's all mixed, scoop it up and put it into something. You know, this glow in the dark powder works the same as any of the other glow in the dark stuff. It needs to be charged with light. Right, you have to charge it with light. Right. And it's just so it's a handy yoke, but you really do need to saturate the wax in this. Right. So there's your glow in the dark wax, and you just leave it till you need it.